It is draft night in the NBA, and the Sixers have some big decisions to make tonight. Coy Camiscioli, Philly Sports Talk here. Going to preview what I think is going to happen tonight in terms of the 76ers' third overall pick, and we'll go through some possible options. But tonight is a big night that could shape what happens this upcoming year for the Sixers, and obviously for the franchise as a whole for who knows how long. So we still sit at the third overall pick. There's a very good chance that gets moved from tonight, but we'll have to see. So obviously, the big dilemma, we'll talk about this first. I made a podcast about this like about a week ago. Um, Ace Bailey. So Ace Bailey does not want to come to Philadelphia. I think he wants to go to either the Wizards or the Nets or the Pelicans. Those are the three teams around the fifth, sixth, and seventh range. I think it's ridiculous. I don't want that guy on my team. I understand wanting a big role and trying to make a name for yourself, but man, that's just really bad. Canceling all of his workouts because he wants to go to one of those three teams, which is the bottom of the barrel in the NBA, is just kind of pathetic. So as a Sixers fan, I want no part of Ace Bailey. You know, he has the highest ceiling out of the guys who will be available. This is assuming that Dylan Harper goes number two after Cooper Flag, which I really do believe will happen. But it's just I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of basketball IQ kind of missing in his game a little bit, or maybe sort of a lack of effort. He chucks up some pretty crazy shots at times, which can give off the vibes of pretty good confidence, which is a good thing. But then there's a lot of times where his help defense and positioning is really just not up to par as some of the other draft prospects. So he might not even come in as one of the more polished players. Honestly, I could see VJ Edgecombe being more polished than him, and I'll get into him in a second. But obviously, at 6'8", Ace Bailey, is a pretty big force to be reckoned with. I think that I think that he could be good. I just don't think it's very. I think it's really pathetic that he wants to go to one of the three teams in the very bottom of the NBA. I mean, who wants to go to either of those three franchises? So canceling his Sixers workout the night before, I don't want any part of Ace Bailey. I'm starting to get on the VJ Edgecombe train right now. Over the last couple of days, it's becoming a little more and more seeming like we might take him. He's a little bit more polished as a basketball player coming into the draft. I feel like he's a very athletic wing. Good in transition. He can attack the basket. He can knock down standing still corner threes. So he can be a 3-and-D kind of wing that the Sixers need, with athleticism that can get to the paint. So he can kind of do a little bit of everything that the Sixers would need. Obviously, coming into the league, his ceiling is not as high as what Ace Bailey would be, but there's a very realistic chance that his floor is a lot safer and he might be better early on for the Sixers right away. So I'm starting to get on the VJ Edgecombe train a little bit. He had his workout with the Sixers and apparently didn't do amazing shooting, but it was almost like apparent that he was nervous, is what the reports have been. But he has expressed interest of wanting to come to Philly and wanting to play around the guys, including Maxey, McCain, and Embiid and them, and Paul George. So that's something that I would really like to see, honestly. At this point, I'm kind of getting on board with that, but let's see. There has been some talks about Trey Johnson. So I don't know as much about him. I've kind of really done a lot of work on VJ Edgecombe, or necessarily we could be trading down to maybe get Con Canoopel, and maybe trade down with the Nets, as they wouldn't mind getting Ace Bailey, because they have 5 first-round picks. I don't even know how they're going to be able to afford all that. So 5 first-round picks for them. There's a very realistic chance that we trade down with them. They may even give us a player or so with some of those picks. So that would be very interesting. Cam Thomas, if we get Cam Thomas, that'll be something. So I wouldn't mind that either. As of right now, I think the most realistic possibility is VJ Edgecombe, and that's what I'm starting to set my thoughts on at this point. It's kind of sad that Ace Bailey, it's chosen this route, but who knows? So there's definitely still some other possibilities. The Pelicans could look to trade up to get Ace Bailey, and maybe we could get Herb Jones in that package. Trading down. I'm trying to look at some of the other trades I've written up a little bit, but I doubt the Pelicans even do that. Apparently, they made them like untouchable, kind of. I don't believe that, but it is. I'm sure there's a price on everybody without a doubt. So And no matter what happens tonight, the Sixers really can't lose until the season comes, and then those guys underperform. Um, but if we can get VJ Edgecombe, I'm thinking of the starting lineup right now for the Sixers. Maxey playing the one. Let's just say VJ Edgecombe, we'll go with like he gets the two or so, or now. Because Sarah McCain, it's tough. I'm thinking of this on the spot. I don't know if I like McCain more as as a two in the starting lineup or as like the sixth man. It's kind of tough. So this is the lineup that I mocked up earlier. Maxey at the one, Edgecombe at the two, Paul George at the three, Yabusele at the four. That's if we can resign him, and Embiid at the five, obviously, with the bench being Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards, and Adembona. I think that would be a very good lineup. I could see Maxey, McCain, George, maybe Edgecombe or Yabusele, and then I don't know. It's tough. Justin Edwards could also play the three. He's a pretty big three that can hit his shots. Not a bad defender either. So there's a lot of options for the Sixers here, and obviously Quentin Grimes, who kind of bursted onto the scene last year at the end of the season. So there really are a lot of options. This is the best the team has looked like depth wise in a long time. So I'm kind of excited to see what we do tonight, and I'm starting to believe a little bit, which is sad. Not believe like in the championship, but believe that we're going to be good next year. Get to see some competitive basketball again, as we did not get to see it really at all this year. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens tonight. I won't be able to get to watch it live. I have a baseball game, so I will have to record it. I'm going to have to turn all my notifications off because I do want to watch it live. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this one. The Sixers, big night for them. I'm intrigued to see what happens. And maybe a trade happens before the draft. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll come out with a post-draft podcast either late tonight or tomorrow, recapping what the Sixers did. So, thank you guys for listening. Peace.